Alfonso's here, the godfather of the game. Many years of wisdom, remember his name. Speakers on stage, they'll drop the keys. Unlock your power and seize the breeze.
I find real estate, and this way I have the MLS right here, the Realtor.ca. That's kind of where people go first. I want to make sure that before we go into this, you understand that Realtor.ca is one resource. You might want to go and connect with sellers directly. You may want to go on Kijiji. You may want to find FSBO websites for sale by owners. You may want to do mailers. You know, basically you can go to MPACT and order addresses of multifamily or apartment buildings, and you'll get the information of the sellers. There's so many strategies, and a lot of those strategies is what we teach in Wealth Genius. And so, you know, don't think that Realtor.ca is the only place. And what I also want you to do is be patient. Finding a really good asset is key. But just buying any asset, it could slow down your progress. It could slow down the ability to grow your portfolio. I was talking to an investor just the other day, and I said, you know what, we're back to the type of market we were back in 2019, where some of these apartment buildings and multifamily type of assets took a little bit longer to trade hands. And this person said, well, I wasn't an investor back in 2019. And so a lot of investors became investors during the pandemic and during 2020, where the market was just going up and up and up and up and up. And the way these assets were selling, were like, you know, it's like it was going out of style. And so that's not normal, and you just have to readjust. Slow things down, take your time, analyze, and ask yourself very specific questions on whether or not you want to move forward. So, Realtor.ca, it's a really great resource. Like I said, it's not the only resource, okay? But what I do, if you see down here, you can find commercial deals, or you can find residential deals. So I click commercial because I'm a commercial investor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a market, right? Let's see here. I'm going to choose Ottawa. It's going to take me to Ottawa, and I'm going to use filters. Okay, right here you're going to go to filters, and now you want to customize your search. Okay, so what you want to do is I go to multifamily, and if you can see right here, it says multifamily. I'm going to go to multifamily right there. Number of units. Well, let's go to 4+. Okay, 4+. And that's kind of my search for now, okay? I can get more specific later on, but right now I just want to see the scope of the land. I want to see what's going on. We go to search, and if you can see, we have multiple properties in the market, so you can get really tight on what's going on, or you can see, you can actually, if you do this, you can see all of the different properties that are in your area. Or let's say you wanted to go to maybe in Southern Ontario, for example. No, it's only giving me that one search. Oh, there it is. I think it was taking its time to load. Okay, so you can see what's happening around the market. Right, so if you wanted to, for example, go into Southern Ontario, you can see what's going on in Southern Ontario. You can kind of narrow in. My internet's being a little bit slow right now. Hamilton, Hamilton, St. Catharines, Niagara region, Southern Ontario, or let's say you wanted to see across the country, right? You wanted to see what's happening in Winnipeg or what's happening in Calgary. A lot of great markets, okay? So lots of inventory all across Canada. But let's go back to what we're looking at originally, which is the Ottawa region. Okay, and so on the left-hand side, you can actually see some of the deals here. You'll see that it's got units. This looks like a portfolio. Look at this. This one is in Quebec. Kind of see what's going on, right? Let's see this one here. Let's click on that. Okay, so now you got all of your information. A lot of the times what you're going to find is that when you look at a multifamily, maybe the realtor does not publish all of the information there. So all you can see is really pictures. You're going to go through some of the pictures. It looks like it's some sort of multifamily with an addition. So it's not a purpose-built. Personally, I look for purpose-built, but this is just an example. And then what you want to do is you're going to go to the comments.
My name is Alfonso Cuadra. They call me the Godfather of real estate. I've been in business for over 30 years, in real estate over 26 years. I built a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And now I'm going across North America, talking to people and signing checks. I'm looking for deals because I'm building a billion-dollar portfolio. Is that you? Let me make an offer you can't refuse.
We just don't have enough information to make this decision. There's too many unknowns, and for that reason, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're going to go to the comments, and you're going to see all the information. Income seekers. This is a hands-off as you can find. Okay, 6 individual separately metered units. Great income. And so one thing that you can see, there's not much information here. You got a little bit of the taxes, a little bit of the information about whether it's sewer or septic, but not much information. So basically what you want to do, and by the way guys, I'm not saying to go buy this property, I just pulled it out of the blue here, but you want to reach out to the realtor directly. You can either email them, contact the realtor up here, or simply call them directly, okay? And so what you want to do is make contact, and you want to request the income and expenses. And then that's when you're going to do your underwriting. You're going to look through all the numbers. You're going to see if those numbers make sense. Now, here's the key. Here's the key to multifamilies and the kind of real estate that I do is I like to ask myself very specific questions. Now, if you saw that was in a secondary market. So I was doing my search and I went to like a secondary market. I like to ask myself, what are the economic drivers of that particular market? Why that particular deal? What makes it lucrative? Is there a future? I personally don't like to invest into one-horse towns. So basically towns or markets that only have one industry. I want multiple industries. I want multiple employment in that particular area. I'm looking at the future, right? Because I'm buying this to hold it, right? I'm buying this to hold it to create generational wealth. And if I'm going to hold it, that means that there has to be a good future for that property. So I ask a very simple question. What are the market and economic drivers that make that particular area a good place to invest in? Okay? I personally like secondary and tertiary markets that are supported by a major market. Maybe there are 30 minutes to an hour driving distance from a major market. Number 2, I'm going to ask myself, why this deal? Why is this a deal that I want to do? Why that particular deal versus another one down the road? Well, first of all, the numbers, right? So I'm going to invest where I'm going to get the highest return on investment on my money, but also the deal that I'm looking at needs to be in alignment with my goals, right? So I'm going to set real clear goals on what I want to accomplish in my portfolio, in my real estate career, and every decision that I make needs to be in direct alignment with those goals. Management. Sometimes you have some areas where you can't find tradespeople, you can't find management. You're going to have to drive back and forth. So the further you go away from where you physically live, the more you need to compensate with the number of doors. For example, if you're buying something across the country, it should be something that is meaty, maybe an apartment building that has, let's say, 7+ units, for example. And so I want to make sure that I have management in place. I have a property management company. I've already connected with people in that particular market. I know that someone can manage this property. Resources. Does that particular market have the resources that I need in order to operate that building? For example, is there plumbers, electricians, handy people, handymans? So you need resources in that particular market. There's some markets that is very difficult to find tradespeople. Capital. Do I have the right capital, the right investors in place in order to pursue that type of asset class? Have I connected with investors? Do I have the capital available? Do I have resources where I'm going to get the capital? A lot of the times, investors go out there and just put a whole bunch of deals under contract, but they don't have the strength in either investors or capital or resources where they can get capital from. And then the last one is, what strategy is this? Is this going to be a type of deal that you're going to buy and hold, or is it going to be a value add type of deal? Are you going to go in there and force the appreciation? Are you going to create a lift so you can refi it later on? You need to know that going in, and especially as you're looking at all of these deals, you need to be very clear on what the strategy is going to be. Is it going to be buy and hold, or is it going to be a value add? My friends, if you follow some of these things, you're going to be extremely successful. We're here to bring you value. We're here to take you to the next level. If there's specific subjects that you want me to cover, put it in the comments down below. I love to connect with everyone. Follow me on my YouTube channel. I'm here to provide value to you. Alfonso loves you, and we'll see you at the top.
Join us for our 10th and biggest Expand Investor Conference. And this year, this November, we are doing it in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah! And it's gonna be a big one. And I want you to go and get your tickets right away. Our Expand Investor Conference, our 10th edition of our Expand Investor Conference, is happening in Alberta. Get your tickets right away.